The 20th century English poet Philip Larkin puts it in his usual merciless and uncompromising way. Happiness, he tells us, writes white. But what does that mean? What it means is a happy tale is not worth telling, because the words might as well be, well, invisible. On the other hand, creative artists and audiences galore love a story that ends badly. Now, we revel in the unhappiness of others, and if it is famously only the Germans who use Schadenfreude to indicate the guilty satisfaction we feel when witnessing from a distance other people's misery, the word might as well be in the universal human dictionary. It sounds counterintuitive, but there are endless examples in narrative, in poetry, in drama, and of course in film, of gripping and miserable narratives which deal with journeys of despair and fall from greatness. It is as if we need tragedies in our lives. As a great popular storyteller, Shakespeare is no exception, of course. And as we saw from his use of comedies, he's only too happy to fulfill expectations whilst also challenging them and surprising us along the way. This stage of our journey deals with a genre which is both popular and very uncomfortable, full of contradictions and utterly recognizable. We might be dealing with kings and great men and women. As ever, we are fundamentally discovering ourselves. In this part of the course, we're going to look at three of Shakespeare's most famous and challenging tragic tales: Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth. I'm hoping to be able to show you how reading Shakespeare's tragedies can make sense of our own world and our own voyage of personal learning and personal discovery. Aristotle helps once more. Now, if you think about it, it is rather simple, on the surface anyway. If comedies are stories that end well, tragedies are stories that end badly. That is it. The other ingredients can belong to any other kind of story. We have a protagonist, conflict, a fatal flaw, and a sense of catharsis or epiphanic realization that what we are witnessing is essentially our own story. We also have death to deal with as an audience and as individuals. Hamlet, or to use its full title, The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, is one where the title says it all. It suggests the arc we follow. It highlights the importance of status of the main character, he's a prince after all, and a sense of place. Not that Shakespeare was any good at geography. You see, the foreign settings of his plays are utterly misleading. The foggy battlements of Elsinore, the Danish seat of the king, is perfectly exotic, but does not expect topographical accuracy. Just like his Italian locations, these are utterly allegorical places. They are anywhere and everywhere. Twelfth Night's Illyria is as real as Dr. Gulliver's Lilliput. Prosperous Mediterranean island is nowhere to be found on the maps. The real setting is the theatre of life itself. The famous Globe Theatre, the playhouse built south of the river in London, was intentionally built just far enough from the city to escape the Puritan censorship. Its motto, Totus Mundus Agit Histrionem, loosely translates as "all the world's a stage," and it shows how Shakespeare and his company felt that he only needed an empty space, a wooden O, filled with human stories, to create a believable reality. The story of Hamlet might deal with a young man of high birth, destined for the throne. But his story is universal. And witnessing a tale which allows us to escape reality and immerse ourselves in it, knowing it will not work out, is both interesting and useful.